Jürgen, thank you so much for taking the time.
Welcome.
It's been a long time since we sat down and had a good old chat. Tony's fault.
That'll be my fault.
I've seen Tony's unread messages from me over the last couple of years. No, I was trying to think back because obviously we did a couple post-season. You did one with myself, one with Chris, and then the last time we really spoke was the Managers Awards the year after winning the Champions League, where you were there. You were Manager of the Year that year. And Pep was there with all his trophies, and you were there with your much bigger, more impressive
with my
one,
trophy.
With your
Pep with all his trophies, and I was there with my
the
trophy.
big trophy that he was very jealous of, by the way. But yeah, I've got like a million things. I could literally sit here for a month, and we could go through. There's that many things that we could discuss over that sort of time period.
Yeah, true.
Is there anything that you particularly want to discuss?
Discuss?
Yeah, or talk about it.
Yeah. Why a referee is as bad as they are.
Well, that was I didn't want it.
Can we sort that here or what?
Well, yeah, we can do that tonight. That'll take a month.
Oh my God, no. Actually, I'm open. We can speak about absolutely everything.
Okay, well, let's go to sort of the end of 18-19, European champions.
Wonderful time.
And then into the following season. Is that for you, that team, almost across that calendar year? I mean, that's a team that is basically, it's perfection, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like outcome-wise, definitely. I think we built a machine at that time, created a couple of new positions, if you want, the most offensive fullbacks, false nine, winger, striker, if you want, and then. But I remember at the time that people were not happy with the goal involvement of our midfielders. Oh, that's interesting. You think, oh my God, they must be so long that you can think that way. So we needed somebody who is doing the dirty work as well. So a few people had to carry the ball and make sure that all the other guys can do what they do. Yeah, but the rhythm the team played and the desire we created, the greed in the team, and that all of that in a really clean way. We don't have to, we didn't waste time, we didn't invent new cheeky things for set pieces, getting rid of gloves or whatever, and these kind of things. We didn't do that at all. We just tried to fight harder than other teams, and that with really good football players.
Yeah.
And it was an incredible time. In that time, because obviously when we say that, losing the Champions League final 18, winning 19, winning League 20, it is slightly interrupted obviously by the pandemic from an enjoyment point of view, but it was obviously an incredible period.
On that sort of that break period, because nobody had a clue really what was going to sort of happen next. And I've spoken to a few of the players over the years and talked about, like, you know, they had WhatsApp groups and they were genius, and Jordan was very keen and like just making sure everyone kept level-headed and what have you. But what was that like? Because I guess you're the figurehead. You've got to tell them everything's going to be okay when really no one knew that it was definitely going to come back. And
I said directly at the beginning, there's now more important things than football, and then somebody came up with a 0-1 in the season. And in that moment, to be honest, it was a bit difficult for me to see it still that way. But what? So let's focus on something else. But you want to make such a big decision. It's like, it's just bad. Rio Ferdinand, I think, said it. I think you should 0-1 the league. And I forgot that actually that he was it, because he gave him an interview only recently.
Should have said next time you see him.
It was not a good interview anyway. That was a moment when I had stress. So I obviously lost. I played, I didn't play myself, but I was involved in more Champions League finals. I lost more Champions League finals than other people play. What a crazy way to describe a career. So I'm used to not get exactly what maybe I think in that moment what would be right. It's just part of life. But if somebody would have taken that away from us, I don't know how I would have reacted. I had real stress. Besides the world stress with COVID, which I understood, it's much more important. But if somebody would have done that, I would have lost it.
You'd have had to join the queue of people ready to jump in the Mersey, I think, if that was going to happen. We were doing the same thing. You know, you're trying to talk about a subject that doesn't exist anymore. You know, you're covering football and it's not there. So, God, I mean, I don't know if you did as many quizzes as most people did in that time, Zoom quizzes, but that's, you know, the amount of stuff people had to do to keep themselves going. So when you finally find out that it's coming back, is that just the biggest relief?
Yeah. In a moment when people convince me, we'll not have, oh fine, we will play on. Whenever we start, we will do that, and it's fine. Yeah, in that moment I was completely in peace. And I was in peace with people in the stadium, stuff like this, and then 1,000 or 2,000 and these kind of. I enjoyed it all. Like, I know I missed the parade. Of course, that would have been great. Imagine a parade after winning the league. Oh God, that would have been second to none, definitely. But I enjoyed it as much as I could, and as you would imagine, it was absolutely insane and fantastic. And the whole season, as from a football point of view, was super, super, super special.
I have to ask, because there's so many stories that come out of that night when the titles won, the Man City-Chelsea game. Who put you up to ringing Alex Ferguson? Is it true that you rang Alex Ferguson on the night that the title was won?
I heard that, and I'm not sure. I know, yeah.
Well, he claims that you did.
Yeah. That's what I heard, but it's actually, I would say no, but Alex says it, and that's what I heard, that he said it, and I wouldn't say it's impossible. So I had a few drinks that night, but actually I never checked my phone. I just thought, yeah, you're probably right, but I can't remember. I can't really remember, but that's possible. That night happened a few things. I woke up at one point and I was not 100% sure about the last few hours.
Brilliant.
So yeah.
I suspect one or two were like that. Judging by how the team played against Manchester City in the 4-0, I suspect one or two of the lads probably felt similar in the days that followed. There was a couple of bleary eyes in that game. I would genuinely love nothing more than to know what you said to Ferguson that night.
So I cannot help you with that. Yeah, we have to ask Alex. I meet him next week.
Find out for me.
He wants to meet me one more time. I wouldn't say one last time, but one more time. And yeah, of course. Yeah.
I just want to know that you just burst out.
I ask him. Maybe I'll check his phone, because I have probably mean by a different one. That's his phone list. When was it exactly? May?
This was June.
Oh no, it was May. It was earlier.
This was the end of the
season.
This
later.
July.
It was later.
July would it be?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, of course. Yeah, we have to check that. No, but the night was good. The moment was great. Penalty, handball, all these kind of things. That was really fantastic. You can imagine how intense it was, knowing, yeah, we will make it. But you wanted it in that moment. You wanted it that night. That was the moment when we wanted. We
were in the office that day going, do we do something for the City-Chelsea game? Do we do a watch along? Do we do it? And we're like, is that a bit... that make us look stupid if we're sat Liverpool fans watching City and Chelsea and then City win and then we go, okay, thanks very much everyone, and go home. But
so you didn't do it then?
No, of course we did. Best thing we've ever done.
As if you would care if you look stupid.
No, I know. Yeah. Any temptation to go out and, I know it was iffy at that time, but any temptation to run out into the streets and go and join the masses that night?
Oh, I was not. No chance.
No memory if you did it.
No. No, I know where I woke up, so that's not possible. So I was in a hotel, so that's fine. No, but it was obviously a tricky time, so it was not. Nobody was allowed to go out really. So I think Dejan Lovren we missed for a while. If somebody saw him in the city, they would not be surprised. But I only heard about that 1 or 2 days later. So I think the rest was partying there. It was a good party.
Yeah.
Without families.
Yeah.
So that was strange. But besides that, it's you have to take things like they are. In that moment, it was not to change, and we made the best of it, and it was fantastic. To experience it that way, and because it happened only once, obviously would have been special anyway. But this was super special because nobody else had it like that before.
Just to talk about some of the sort of harder times, I guess, and obviously the season that follows. Look, we can do. There's plenty of light to talk about.
We always paid the bill, eh?
Well, yeah. Well, that's kind of what I want to talk about. That run in the January. So it's 6 home defeats back to back in the season that follows. You've got no centre halves fit. You've got no midfielders fit almost at one point by the end of it. You'd gone through some sort of family heartache in that time. Ali had similar stuff as well. Is that there were rumours going round at the time around the city that was when you were thinking of sort of walking away? And I don't think anyone would have actually begrudged it at the time, given how difficult I think things have been. But was that ever a consideration?
No, not at all. If it's going well or not going well, so I had obviously a lot of times where it didn't go that well. That was never the reason why I would think about. So that was just part of the job. So we paid the bill. We paid the bill that year. We paid the bill after a nearly quadruple season. We paid the bill. So that's how it is. It's really, really, it's tricky. So we had to go on the edge of overperforming. It's not that we play with 80% and won a football game or with 90% and won a football game and not the long runs we had in the moment when it didn't work out for boom, we got smashed. So you have to accept that. I never had a problem with that. That's how it is. But of course, that moment when Virgil got his bad injury at Goodison Park, I knew that's more than an injury. Yeah. Because then everything started from there, boom, boom, boom. What happened that season was really crazy. We had to convince players to play other positions. It's like, so I'm an adult, and that's since 30 odd years, and I just, that's a necessity, go for it. But football players nowadays just say, yeah, so you tell me another opportunity, tell me another option, and I play him. So I was to the players like,
was that when Reece and Nat put their hands up at the back and said,
yeah. That was, we didn't trust them early enough. That was rather my fault or our fault. But I'm not sure they were fit all the time. Probably they were injured as well. One of them at least. What they did in the end, that's history. If somebody would want to write a book about that season, because we ended up in the Champions League, so not to forget, which is absolutely crazy, because of these two boys. And there were games they obviously played both in the end. Yeah.
The photo at the end, last game of the season, I think they've got their arm around each other and they've both got like cuts and black eyes and stuff, is one of the perfect Liverpool photographs of all time, I think.
It was absolutely insane how we did then. But of course, you have to change everything in that moment. You win the league the year before, and a year later, all of a sudden, you have to defend deep because we don't have the speed and stuff like this. It's all, and the midfielders play there. It is, people can expect from us, of course, you have to sort it now. Sorry, I was not prepared for that, so give me a moment to think. But no, 3 days later you play again. So that's really tricky. These are situations that are not great. Yeah. And you wish nobody would be interested in football. Give us a week and find something kind of solution. I mean, no, we don't have a week. No, we have a game, and you press conference before and after and explain it. Why it didn't work? Oh God. So, but what I realize now, so that time, nobody is really sympathized with you. Yeah. As little as I now, in a similar situation, sympathize with Man United, to be honest. So because you think they should play better, but they don't have centre halves as well. So that's the world. Maybe it's not your problem. You think, yeah, come on, find a solution.
Honestly,
if it's yours.
Honestly, it's true. Yeah, you do. I was talking to a Man United fan on Manchester radio not too long ago, and I was saying, Liverpool have had all these injuries, and they said, you've invented injuries now. I was like, no, you've had injuries, but Liverpool have had injuries. No one wants to hear it. No, everyone wants to hear it because you're crap, not because you've got problems. Yeah. On that season, it would be stupid of me not to ask you about it. Alisson Becker, header.
One of my absolutely favorite stories of all time, because Ali and I, we have a really close relationship. After the Champions League final, 19, one of my pictures, selfie, is with Ali, his dad, and me. Because Ali wanted to bring his dad over. We hug each other. So he's his dad. I'm not his dad, but in a similar role, just in another country. I'm Christian, obviously. Ali's dad. We all know what happened. He scores that goal. I see his face, and it was the most touching moment I ever had in a football stadium. Like in one moment, he cuts the ball. Yeah. Next to it, Ali. Oh my God! Only football can write this story. So absolutely incredible. Will never ever forget in my life. a second from when he started in our own box and looking at me, and because I saw, you see goalies coming up in these moments, and it's just useless, and it's just there, and the other team scores a goal there. So, but that was absolutely fantastic, and it for me it looked like meant to be.
Yeah, there was just something. It's the last kick of the game, and I remember saying at the time, they'll do it or they won't now. They'll either score from this corner or that'll be it, and that's probably top 4. In the bin. Goalkeepers don't score winning goals in football matches. Yeah. But
I was lucky enough. I know it was not winning goal; it was the equalizer. When I was playing, the goalie scored the equalizer. So yeah, no, true. They don't score winning goals. You're right, because when it's a draw, obviously the goalie doesn't go. It's true. Yeah. Wow,
absolutely incredible.
Really special.
Throughout all of this, I have to ask, what's it like going toe-to-toe with Manchester City? Because we were having... Because we were discussing this.
Out there top.
Yeah. Because how is it... I mean, you lost one game in a season, got 97 points and finished second. That's not meant to happen.
You mean that we lost that game where the ball was actually... So we have to. It's your decision. Huh? What do we make of that? It's my decision. It's everybody's decision. What do you make of that? Do you think you are the most unlucky person in the world? How can that happen to me all the time, constantly, and again? Or just accept it. So obviously, if we could have done anything different at the time, I would be critical about that. I would say, come on, yeah, we should have done. But actually, I think we squeezed absolutely everything out of that season. I know then it's but here we lost the point, and then but they did as well. So it's just not to change anymore. But it's super intense. It's super intense. Pep said it as well. They wouldn't have had this the amount of points they had, and we wouldn't have had the amount of points, because it's just not possible to, without somebody who pushes you, to get to that level. The way we got there is absolutely insane. And this year you see it. We can still reach 84 points, I think. I'm not sure exactly. They have 5 points more.
Do you know that would be the most points a team's ever had finishing third if that's what happens? Sorry.
So
there you go.
There's another thing. You know that when I was at Mainz, and we didn't get promoted. Not only it was for a point and a goal. The year later, we were the points best ever not promoted team in history, and a year later, the second best ever not promoted team in the year. That's my life.
And this is why you need to spend some time on the beach.
No, it's just insane. But it's good. So let me say like that. How does it feel for Nadal to be the same generation like Federer and Djokovic? He could have won 50 tournaments. Now I don't know, probably, but he has a decent career, obviously. So it is. I said a couple of times, Pep is for me the best manager in the world. Whatever they do there, we all know, we all have the same thoughts. It's just not easy to talk about it. I respect the football part too much to make it too big a thing, but I know that's there, and let's see what's the outcome there. But I enjoyed each second, besides the moment when Vinny Kompany fires the ball there. I'm really happy I didn't get a stroke in that moment, because that's how it must feel. Yeah. I know exactly how I was, right on the sofa, like this, watching and think, Madison, block him, close him down. And since then, I don't like Madison. It's just, and I was angry with Brandon that day because he should have taken him off. He was tired. Leicester played a really good first half, should have scored, blah, blah, blah. After that, they should have scored. So it's just a personal thing. Of course, I have no problem with this guy, but it's like when I see him, so so now we saw him again last weekend, stuff like this. So from time to time, these things come up. It's just, but it is how it is. I wish we would have had more reasons to have big parties. But the general time, because these moments happened in moments, and the time around, I think, was really enjoyable. Let me say like 364 days. The 65th, you can put in a bin, but that's how it is. Huh?
Yeah. I know you don't really like singling out players and talking about in particular, but I need
When we talk positively, yes.
Can we talk about Trent Alexander-Arnold?
We can.
Is there an extra sense of pride in seeing a local boy in that talent coming through?
This morning, his mom came in, wanted to meet me, wanted to say goodbye, brought flowers for Ola. We had a long chat. She started again. But I think a lot about Trent, but not about the start, obviously, because that's long ago. And what she thought when she heard that the German manager's coming in, and what people told her, what that means, because we English people told her before, not when I came, told her that foreign managers, they don't go for talent, and maybe she's right, because they come here, and they were right, and they'll just come here and try to survive the next year. How can you go for talent? Then when they heard that I will be the manager, and everybody told her, but at Dortmund you played really young players, and she was like, let's wait. And in the end, obviously it worked out pretty well. And it was a really nice one. So I spoke this morning already nearly an hour about Trent and how it worked out, but with his mom, not with him. Cool. So fantastic, outstanding. One of the situations only in 20 years probably, corner taken quickly. It's like we forgot it. I cannot forget it, but it's like it's not that big a story. But how old was he then? 21? 29? 21 probably, yeah?
Yeah, 20.
20 maybe. You're 20 years old in a Champions League semi-final against Barcelona. I mean, that's the cheekiest thing I ever saw in my life. I didn't see it in that moment, actually. But it was absolutely insane. One wonderful, wonderful football moment.
The one that always stands out for me is the Hoffenheim away game when he scores the free kick. And of course, it's like, you got this young lad, he's playing right back. We had a little look at him the season before. I was in the stand with his brother, and his brother came flying down over my head, screaming at the top of his lungs. And I said to him, did you know he could do that? And he was like, oh yeah, of course. Got a right back who can score free kicks as well. That just doesn't happen. No,
but we have, so there's always like this. So it's easy to say when you look back, we planned this, we planned that, but you need to have luck as well. You need to be lucky in moments. That's how it is. And what we created here in that time was this really special fullbacks situation, front line situation, false nine, striker, winger, what we said. And then again, just do that, and immediately people tell you that the midfielders don't score enough goals. So it's like, yeah, forget it.
We've had a pretty good time, I think.
It was. But how critical were people with the players? Like
people called it the Brexit midfield. Yeah. They called it the Brexit midfield. I've never been more pissed off. For a start, because Gini Wijnaldum is Dutch, which had never made any sense to me whatsoever. But look, obviously, the future.
No, but we together, we had the players, so we created that, and step by step, then we had issues at the beginning, we had players in, we thought, okay, if we can change, we should change. That happened mainly in the last line, which makes sense. Then step by step, that's the way we did it. And was just our way. So it's Liverpool is a super special club, and I think the Liverpool way is a way to do it the right way. So like properly. And now always when I hear that people say, Jürgen, that's really good. If he would have had more backing from FSG, then this and that would happen. So I don't know, because it was like it was. I felt backed, but we couldn't do what we want. That's how it is. It's not that I say, I should have asked for more money. What? Sorry, we need another 100. And I would never start these discussions in public, because they lead to nothing. So it's like, if they say it in public, they all of a sudden say, oh, he said in public. They are multi-million billionaires. They are not interested about the British press. And I said we need 100 million player, or we cannot survive next season. It just makes no sense. It's just a point of discussion. So I think we did it the right way. We spent what we could spend, and that's what we did. Yeah. Was there money around? I don't know, but I didn't care. So, and I loved all the steps we made. And that's what I really thought, because you come in and people tell you, you hear these phrases, the Liverpool way, and what's that? What's the Liverpool way? And I still don't know it 100%, but for me, it's exactly that. I understand it that way. Do it properly. Do it by the rules. Do it by the laws of the game, stuff like this. Don't cheat. Don't do that. Don't pretend, don't go down, blah, 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 when it's not, don't pretend, don't put the goal. I hate so many things about football. Honestly, when the goalie goes down and lies on the ball, or we are going, and all of a sudden the goalie breaks the rhythm and pretends to have an injury, and I sit there, my God, when did they speak about that? When did he tell them? Goalie, and when they go, then we need a rhythm break. You stay down and pretend you have an injury. And I sit there and I lose respect in an instant. And unfortunately, it doesn't come back later on. So, and now, we could have been, of course, more successful. But we could have won lesser as well. That's how it is. And we tried hard. And I would blame us, myself, and everybody a lot if I would not be happy with the effort we put in. But we gave absolutely everything because we are not geniuses. Sometimes it worked out and sometimes not. But I enjoyed it so much. I can't tell you. You are incredible people here in that city. And I couldn't have wished for more, honestly.
Grandparenthood then, the next adventure?
He turns 1 soon. It's physical talent, I have to say. I told the mom, she said, make sure he's a lefty because cuts already 80% of all the other guys out. He's rose with left, so we will see.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's great.
Looking forward to it then.
Oh, massively.
At least it's incredibly tiring, so you're well trained. You've had 8.5 years of being very well trained to look after kids again.
Yeah. It's no problem. That's no problem. I'm really calm in these moments. You might not believe I am. So I have to, if I'm time, I'm a very calm person.
Yeah, and also when it gets too hard, you can just hand them back and go on a life.
That's true.
Hey, thank you so much for checking out the content today. If you want to get your name in and amongst these wonderful people, then head to redmenplus.com. Join as a Legend tier subscriber. You're going to get free merchandise codes. You're going to get in our Discord, and you're going to get your name at the end of YouTube videos. Yes, redmenplus.com, Legend tier status.